It was way back in 1997, 16 years ago, when this man, Brian Greer, was the starting offensive center for the Willamette Bearcats. He did a little blocking for a guy right there by the name of Chuck Pinkerton, who was an assistant coach on this team, number 10. At this time, we were ranked in the top 10 in the NAIA and headed for a national title. Hi, I'm Mike Allegre, everybody, here to do a special halftime interview with a friend and a guy that I watched play for 3 of his 4 years, a 3-year starter and an All-American center, NAIA All-American center, after the run for the NAIA title. And just recently, Brian Greer with me here in the Bearcat locker room has just entered into the Willamette University Sports Hall of Fame. Once again, congratulations, Brian. Boy, that had to be a great honor. That's the second time you've been entered.
It is. It was obviously went in with the team the first time, and it was a great honor. It was a lot of fun and is exciting.
Well, you know, that picture we just looked at had another Hall of Famer and quarterback Chuck Pinkerton, well-deserved, and for 3 years you snapped the football to that gangly guy. What was it like back then playing? Has it changed that much?
I don't think it's changed that much, but it was a blast. We had a good group of guys. We had a good offensive scheme, and everything really seemed to click.
Did you know, when Coach Hawkins took over, it had been a losing tradition here, honestly. Things changed by the second year. You sensed the change. What made that team special as those 3 years went by when the change occurred?
Well, I think we had a special coaching staff. A great group of guys came in all at the same time, and everything just seemed to click. The fly offense was in its infancy here, and it just really took the league and the nation by storm.
When you think about blocking, I know everything starts with the center, and big number 55 made things happen. He was surrounded by a couple of good guards, and Ryan Gold and that other kid?
Garrett Wood.
Garrett Wood, of course. And I was just going to say that things changed, and how did that change you as an offensive lineman? You came out of a high school where the fly was non-existent.
Well, it really taught me how to use a lot of misdirection and really have a lot of fun with the defense, running fake blocks and really messing with their mind.
Yeah. When you think back of the 1995, 6, and 7 years, especially your senior year when we went all the way to Southern Tennessee, played Findlay of Ohio, and with a banged-up quarterback and a second-string quarterback, did our best to win, losing 14-7. When you think about that whole year in particular, the senior year, the 13-1 year, what are some of the things that you recall most?
I just think I recall the unity from the start to the finish. We were a team. We all we celebrated as a team. We play as a team. Offense was special. The defense was awesome. They challenged us every week in practice, and everything just seemed to click and go our way.
Who were the guys across from you on the defensive line? And there were some good ones that challenged you every week that senior year.
Obviously, we had Rodney Wood and Jackson Bowers, Eric Thompson, and the couple good linebackers with John Franco and Brandon Folkert. It was a great group.
It really was. When you think back now as a guy 16 years later, and you're married with 2 little boys, you have a couple of businesses of your own, you're in your upper 30s, things are changing. I just got elected to the Hall of Fame. Life's pretty good.
Life is good. I can't ask for a whole lot more. Things have worked out real well for me, and I'm really blessed that I made this decision to come here to Willamette.
That was one of the things I wanted to know about. When you get an education here, we say it every week, these young men 16 years later still do like you did, balance sports and the heavy load that you have in the classroom, and that's why they call them that student athlete. It wasn't any different in 97, was it?
I doubt it was any different. It was a challenge then, as I'm sure it's a challenge now.
And what did that do for you, all of that balancing back then, all of the hard education, the classes maybe you didn't want to take? What's that done for you over 16 years as a businessman, as a man in the world?
Well, I think it just taught me to be a hard worker, how to balance my life, whether it's socially and work-wise, how to work hard and how hard work actually pays off.
Mm-hmm. When you look at college football today, it's changed a lot, especially at the Division I and the Division II level. Now we are in Division III, which happened right after you left. We went from NAIA to D3. D3 starting to pick up a lot of excitement, especially if you're involved with it. Has college football changed that much first at this level and at the D1 level since you played?
Well, I think it's just as a whole, the sport's become more popular. The popularity continues to grow. But as far as the sport, I think it's the same. I mean, there's a little more emphasis on conditioning and those things, but it's still the same sport out there.
Go back to the title year. Give me a couple of games or a couple of things that happened that were really significant, that not that you dream about, but that you remember. You look back and go, well, that was a good time, or that was a tough one.
Well, I think most of the games were great. I mean, we obviously had a lot of success against our rivals in Linfield and PLU, and you can't beat the first round of playoffs going into overtime and winning on an interception.
And of course, getting all the way, you played at OSU, you played down at U of O, we played in the cold and the rain in the semifinal game, and then we were all the way back to Tennessee. I look back at all of the plays or maybe the games that stood out. Was there any one that caught you other than maybe the national title game, one you'll always remember, or maybe a series of plays that gave us a win?
I really think it was the semifinal game against Sioux Falls. We went up against a much bigger opponent. They were physically and a lot bigger than us, and we were able to hold our own and eventually come away with a win.
And lastly, when you think about as a Bearcat alumnus, as a Hall of Famer now, twice, and you look back and you see what these guys are doing, it's got to make you have a good feeling.
It's exciting. I still live here in Salem. I follow the Bearcats every year, and I love seeing them 5-0, and hopefully by the time we're listening to this, we're having some success against PLU.
And also, just a reminder, and I forgot this, you played with head coach Glenn Fowles, with assistant coaches Chuck Pinkerton, obviously, Tony Casanerio, and any others that are here?
Coach Prangy, Chris Prangy as well.
And there's a whole lot. And last question, why do you think the Bearcats stick around and stay Bearcats in the coaching realm here, even though most of them are not not full-time, they're part-time?
It's just a special place. It's a fun place to play. It's a great place to coach. It's a great atmosphere. It's somewhere you want to be.
Well, this is a special guy, too. New Hall of Famer, 2 times, once with the team and as an offensive center. Great guy, good family man, and just a great Bearcat. This is Brian Greer. Again, congratulations, Brian, on your success, both on the field and in the Hall of Fame and everything in between. And with Brian, I'm Mike Allegre. Thanks for joining us, everybody, on FullAccessSports.com.